Okay. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Okay, my name is Vanisa Akila Zahra and my friends Monica Fitri Aryani. We are from class 5A and we will presentation the material about research questions and hypotheses. Okay, the first material will be explained by me. Okay. The first material is qualitative research questions. In a qualitative study, inquirers state research questions, not objectives, or hypotheses. These research questions assume two forms, a central question and associated sub-questions. First is ask one or two central research questions. The central question is a broad question that asks for an exploration of the central phenomenon or concept in a study. Inquirer poses this question consistent with the emerging methodology of qualitative research as a general issue so as to not limit the views of participants. The next is ask no more than 5 to 7 sub-questions in addition to your central questions. Several sub-questions follow each general central question. They narrow the focus of the study but leave open the questioning. This approach is well within the limits set by Miles and Huberman, who recommended that researchers write no more than a dozen qualitative research questions. In all. The next is relate the central question to the specific qualitative strategy of inquiry. For example, the specificity of the questions in ethnography at this stage of the design differs from that in other qualitative strategies. The next is use exploratory verbs that convey the language of emerging design. These verbs tell the reader that the study will do the following: report or reflect the stories, describe the essence of the experience, discover, seek to understand and explore a process. Then expect the research question to evolve and change during the study in a manner consistent with the assumption of an emerging design. Often in qualitative studies, the questions are under continual review and reformulation as in a grounded theory study. This approach may be problematic for individualists accustomed to quantitative design in which the research questions remain fixed and never change throughout the study. The next material is about quantitative research question and hypothesis. In quantitative studies, investigators use quantitative research questions and hypotheses, and sometimes objectives, to shape and specifically focus the purpose of the study. Quantitative research questions inquire about the relationship among variables that the investigator seeks to know. They are frequently used in social science research and especially in survey studies. Quantitative hypotheses, on the other hand, are predictions the researcher makes about the expected outcomes of relationship among variables. They are numeric estimates of population values based on data collected from sample. Testing of hypotheses employs statistical procedures in which The investigator draws inferences about the population from a study sample. And hypotheses are used often in experiments in which investigators compare groups. Advisors sometimes recommended their use in a formal research project, such as a dissertation or thesis, as a means of stating the direction of study will take. Objectives, on the other hand, indicate the goals or objectives for a study. They often appear in proposal for funding, but tend to be used with less frequency in social and health science research. Because of this, the focus here will be on research question and hypothesis. Okay, the next material will be explained by Monica, Fitri, Aryani. Wait a second. Okay.
Okay, I want to explain about a model of descriptive question and hypothesis. Consider a model for writing question or hypothesis based on writing descriptive question or describing something, followed by inferential question or hypothesis, or drawing inference from a sample to a population. This question or hypothesis include both two independent and dependent variables. The writer specifies descriptive question for each independent and dependent variable and important intervening or moderating variables. Inferential question or hypothesis that relate variable or compare group follow this descriptive question, and and a final set of question may add inferential question or hypothesis in which variable are controlled. Next material. The next material is mixed method research question and hypothesis. A strong mixed method study should contain the qualitative question, the quantitative question or hypothesis, and a mixed method question. This configuration is necessary because mixed method doesn't really exclusively on either qualitative or quantitative research, but on both forms of inquiry. Next slide. This is research should consider what type of question should be presented and when and what information is most needed to convey the nature of study. First, both qualitative and quantitative research question or hypothesis need to be advanced in the method study in order narrow and focus the purpose statement. And the next, when writing this question or hypothesis, follow the guidelines in this chapter for scripting good question or hypothesis. And some attention should be given to the order of the research question and hypothesis. And in additional to quantitative question, hypothesis and qualitative question, include a mixed method research question that directly address the mixing of the quantitative and qualitative standard of the research. And the mixed method question can be written in different ways. And consider how to the quantitative, qualitative, and mixed method question in a mixed method study. Next slide. This is the example, a mixed method study question written using method and content language. To what extent and in what ways do qualitative interview with student and faculty members serve to contribute to a more comprehensive and nuanced understanding of this predicting relationship between CEEPT scores and student academic performance via integrative mixed method analysis. Lee and Greene 2007, page 363. This is a good example of a mixed method question focused on the intent of mixing to integrate the qualitative interview and quantitative data, the relationship of score and student performance. This question implies what the integration was attempting to accomplish, a comprehensive and nuanced understanding and the end of the article. The author present advice answering this question. I think that's all for me. Back to Vanisa.
Okay, thank you for Monica Fitri Aryani. I think that's all from us. I'm so sorry for the mistake. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.